Hello, everyone. My name is Priyanka Pani, and welcome to our first episode of The Growth Hackers by Venture Catalyst. Here, we will talk about a startup's journey from its ideation stage to a growth stage, touching upon all the important stages of creation. Today, we have with us the founders of a very interesting startup called Confirmtkt, an online train discovery, booking, and confirmation platform. Confirmtkt was in news recently for its acquisition by India's leading travel aggregator IXIGO. Before we kickstart the discussion on how Confirmtkt went on from being just an utility app with zero revenues to clock a revenue of 21 crore for the FY20, I would like to introduce you to all the guests this evening. Confirmtkt is also the highest rated train booking app on Play Store with 20 million downloads. Our moderator for the evening is Dr. Apoorva Ranjan Sharma, co-founder and president of India's largest incubator and early stage investor, Venture Catalyst. Under his leadership, Venture Catalyst has become world's third largest player in the segment. He has received the first PhD in incubation from India, acclaimed globally, and has been mentoring startups in 2002. He has established several incubators in India and sits on the Technology Development Board of Department of Science and Technology and TIE. His claim to fame is Oyo Rooms. He was the first one to invest in Oyo Rooms, which is now a decacorn. Recently, he was awarded by Mr. Narayan Murthy and Ratan Tata as the country's largest institutional investor in the country. Please welcome him to this wonderful candid session where we talk to the very dynamic accident entrepreneurs Sripad Vaidya and Dinesh Kumar Kotha, founders of Confirmtkt. Hailing from small towns from Telangana, the duo met while working at IBM. Sripad tells me that Confirmtkt was an accidental idea that had huge potential and solved a major problem back then. So, without much ado, let's find out from them about their journey, about their association with Venture Catalyst, and how they went on and ended up with this acquisition by IXIGO. So, welcome all. Welcome Shripad. Welcome Dinesh. Welcome, sir.
Thanks, Priyanka.
Also,
Hi, Priyanka.
also,
Thank.
Dr. Sharma is happens to be their first mentor apparently. So we will have this very candid conversation. Just keep it very, very informal and open your heart out and say whatever you have to. We have last 15 minutes for Q&A, and whoever interested can ask questions. Is my
Thank
voice
you.
cracked?
Am
No,
I
no, it's
audible?
fine.
Priyanka, am I audible?
Oh, yeah, you're audible, sir.
Okay, great.
So now over to
Super.
you guys. I am going on mute.
Right. Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you, Priyanka. Thank you, Priyanka. Now, so first of all, I think I would like to welcome, Shripad and Dinesh, the founders of Confirmtkt, a company which is hugely successful now and being acquired by IXIGO in the travel space. And they came out with a moonshot idea. So the question to Shripad and Dinesh, my first question, uh, you know, how do you feel, 5 years back when you started a company, very few companies in India, more than 80% companies, they die, startups die, right? They don't see exits, right? Many of them see multipliers, but they don't see exits, right? But you are one of the few companies who have seen exits and have taken, reached to a stage where you're part of the very large company IXIGO now. So how do you feel? I mean, what is the feeling? Achieving sense of achievement. How do you feel now, both of you?
I don't know. For me, actually, we have struggled over like past 5 years, right? And it's a very good journey, very exciting journey, I would say. And the journey still continues. And we will consider this as a very good milestone in our journey, wherein like this gave us more confidence in our journey to take it to the next level. When we started Confirm Ticket, it was altogether a different platform where we never we were always thinking of like how do we build more user based utility app, and the way we have continuously it evolved into a stage wherein now we have multiple
So journey
multiple
continues,
the journey continues over there.
and
So
excitement is there.
yeah, so that we
So
are
the next
excited, the
next
team is
journey, which is
excited.
starting with IXIGO, excitement level is high.
Yes, it's very high actually.
Okay, great.
So combinedly the
So
potential is so huge.
yes, good, good, good.
Yeah,
So the second question is, the both of you were part of IBM, I believe, right?
yeah, yeah.
And we've been hearing, IBM produced great entrepreneurs, right? And how this genesis of the idea. I mean, this was like totally a moonshot idea, getting the confirmations of the train tickets, large number of every year, large number of millions of Indians they travel by train, but no clarity of the ticket confirmation. Even I used your company services many times, multiple times. I remember, right? So it's a good. It's a platform which basically it's a product which basically gives a lot of very useful thing. So how this idea came into your mind that this is possible? What was the genesis of the idea between the two? How it was your idea, Dinesh, or Sripad idea, or somebody else's idea?
So actually, I mean,
Say this.
Ganesh.
Yeah, go on, Sripad. So
So I mean, during our initial days of IBM, I mean, we both were roommates, and we used to like travel to our hometowns on every alternate weekend, if I remember so. So our primary mode of travel was trains, and we never used to get tickets. So I mean, I remember, I mean, people saying that I can particular train 20 wait list पे हो जाएगा, 30 wait list पे हो जाएगा. So how people say, I mean, there will be some logic behind it, right? So I mean, people say based on the experience, and why can't we build a platform which actually serves everyone uh, in a more, I mean, better way. So that's how we started experimenting on our own train journeys actually. So I used to like book waitlist train tickets over weekends, and most of the
So
time,
first you tried this
yeah,
for
yeah.
your own journeys, right?
Yeah. So sometimes it used to get confirmed, and sometimes we used to travel in on waitlist tickets itself. Even like Dinesh remembers your journeys actually.
Okay, great, great, great. So the pain point which you had of traveling from your Bangalore to sort of your hometowns, you thought of converting into a business, right? That is how. But have you thought it's going to be a possibility of I understand the idea is great to create sort of algorithm which can data science using AI and data science, you know. But have you ever thought this can also be a business?
actually, no, I would say like when we actually started this, we actually
Honest,
built.
very honest.
Yeah, yeah, very honest. We
Very
actually thought like, let's build a utility app. I mean, let millions of users use it. We don't care whether it is going to make money or not. But we are also fascinated by the companies. I mean, at that stage, there is very few consumer internet firms like Facebook and all. I mean, all of these companies were of Western companies, and we were all fascinated by those companies building huge. We felt like having huge user base will give us more revenues. Also, we felt like okay, let's give it a shot. Let users keep coming onto the platform. We thought at some point we will monetize. So that's how it all started. But there are a lot of shocking facts we came to know. I mean, there are no nothing outside in Indian story wherein like we thought like the per user revenue rates, everything in the ad revenues and all will be almost similar to US companies. But post 1.5 year, we realized that I think that it's a lot different from what the US and all, and it needs completely new business models in India and all.
Right. So
So
you need indigenous approach for that,
yeah.
right?
yes,
India is
yes,
very different from US and other.
yes.
Yeah.
What we were imagining is, I mean, it is very easy to make 1 rupee from every user. We had a million users. We thought, okay, it is very easy. You can probably like make 1 rupee from the ad revenues. But what we understood is like, I mean, making that 1 rupee actually takes you 5 years.
Wow. Okay. that was the revelation and also the learning, right? 5 years it took
Yeah.
you guys to realize, so not that easy to create a business out of that moonshot idea. So for fellow entrepreneurs, this is a learning, and also to be you have to think through. Uh, you both come from, I understand, from small towns, right? And the coming from small towns, leaving a cushy job of IBM, which I'm sure must be a high-paying job, and starting a journey as an entrepreneur with no money, almost very limited money. How does this daring came inside of leaving such a job of IBM and starting an entrepreneur as an entrepreneur? You never feared of this? What will happen in the future? Didn't have any fear factor?
So I had only probably one gut feeling with me. So I mean, say like if you are a failure at some point, right? So definitely you are better than a college pass out. So you will again start your career with the same salary what you used to get with IBM from the day one. That was my gut feeling. So probably over to you,
Okay.
Dinesh.
Yeah, so
Dinesh.
that was the main thing. Like we felt like at least let's give it a try, at least 1 2 years, and let's see how it goes and all. And we are lucky that I mean, angels like you backed us even without any revenues. Actually, we were very lucky at that stage that we even feel like if we are in your position, whether we will be actually giving that. I mean, how confident are you to give such money to somebody who is not even making any money at all, right? So we are very happy for that actually.
So humbleness, guys. You see the entrepreneurs who are successful, they're always humble, like Dinesh. That is a humility is something which even today after becoming successful, these guys remember, right? So this is something which really matters. I've seen many entrepreneurs, even who have done billion-dollar companies. Very few have this capacity, or I'll say the trait of humbleness, because that's something keep them growing day by day. I think that's very important. Dinesh and Sripad, after setting the construct of this idea and maybe algorithm, you started, collecting the data. How much difficult it was to collect the data, because I'm sure without data you can't predict, right? How difficult it was to, acquire data. How difficult it was, in the early days to, sort of, to sort of bring the accuracy, because I remember when I met you, your accuracy was very, very high. So, and how fast you could do it, that is also the question.
So thing is, it's a long journey. I would say, like even before we started this website or app, we actually waited for 2 years just to get the accuracy. So we were building it overnight. I mean, like in the morning we were going to our day jobs, and in the night we were like collecting some data and making sure. We were not sure whether this will work out or not. We were just collecting data and trying to see how far this can go. And at some point, when we realized that this is actually working, I mean, even we don't know that whether it will work or not, because we are just checking for Bangalore Hyderabad train route, and we don't know if it will work for every other route and every other train out there, right? And once we realize this is actually there is a scope here, and there is no other platform in India doing this, and this is a huge problem for decades. And that's where we thought, like, let's jump in and give this facility to the users, and it will be very much helpful.
Okay, so you did a background work before fully jumping into it, right? 6 month or
Yes,
year
yes.
time, right?
Yeah, actually, I mean, to test out our idea, so there was a platform called India Rail Info. I mean, during our initial days, what this platform used to do is like there was a group of ex-railway employees and current railway employees. They used to actually predict the tickets manually because they understand the trains better. So we used to spam that platform, and we got initial set of users from there. So
Okay, so use your intelligence to. Okay, that's good. That's good. That's good. So India, so now when so after that, you came out with it, then you were sure that this is going to work, and you came out with an idea. So in your life, and then how did this happen? The next step, in your life, when you got funded. I think 2016 or so when you got funded.
Yes,
yeah,
yes.
so actually, I mean, I remember the phase where I mean we were looking to raise funds from VCAT. I mean, we had hardly about 50K left in our bank account, and about like 5 lakhs worth of salary needs to be paid end of that month, and we couldn't afford a flight. Actually, we met you at NASCOM Product Conclave in Bangalore, and
Yeah, yeah, I remember meeting you. Yeah.
you called me after a week back saying that, I mean, we liked your idea, so you can come down to Mumbai. So we couldn't afford a flight, so I traveled in sleeper class to do the first pitch in BKC. And after that, I mean, there were multiple meetings. So I remember Dinesh and me, we even traveled by bus to reach there. And probably I need to like thank you that within 2 weeks, money was in our bank account and we were able to pay the salaries. I, I, I I don't know. I mean, how you have actually trusted us without completing the documentation. You have wired the money.
Oh,
Yeah.
So
all right. So that was the beauty of venture capitalists who help
yeah, yeah.
people that, So
I never
yeah,
imagined that would happen actually.
yeah. So, but I mean, I think it was again a chance that I visited there, and you guys met some right angel investors, and so that took you to the next level of your life. But last 5 years journey, like as an entrepreneur, I've been I can see that because I've been seeing this journey also closely. I felt that you guys were very resolute entrepreneurs, right? Despite having roadblocks, you were able to achieve something. Would you like to talk about your initial challenges? And I think two times you pivoted also this ideas. So, would you like to talk about, what was the, you know, the
The
roadblocks,
learning, yes.
or
So
why
basically,
you pivoted? Would you like to talk about it?
yeah, basically when we started, right, both of us are like, we don't have any business backgrounds or we don't have any anything as such, right? So we were pure product guys and purely focusing on building more valuable thing to the users and all, right? So I think there is a disconnect. What happened is like, I mean, we were only building and we were not focusing much on the revenues in the initial stages. Like, I mean, we were only thinking like the same way we thought like luck will always follow us. The same way venture capitalist funded, somebody else will fund us in maybe after a year or so. And we were continuously we were just building the product, and that's where in between we realized that the funds are running up. I mean, we are running out of all the funds, and that's where we got a hard stop, and we had to make sure that we actually again go back and focus back on the revenues. That's the most important learning for us. Whereas like I would say, if I go back and start building, we will say right from the day one we'll think of making revenues and all, not wait for 1.5 years to 2 years to think on that. At least slightly make the business model in such a way that you start making revenues and all. And
So for 1.5 years, you had not made any revenue, right?
zero revenues actually.
Zero
So
revenue, and you still
zero
survived.
revenue. Yeah, we still survived with the funding money, but the thing, and I mean, end of that, what we realized is like, we should have some revenues and we need to make sure. And that's where we also realized some more mistakes with, like, when we started making revenues, we understood that what we anticipated the revenues and what we actually are making is like one tenth of almost like one tenth of that, right? That's where we realized all our mistakes, that and we started experimenting with multiple business models, and that's how we actually moved. And once we in like first after once we started making money, we were only making money for meeting our expenses, kind of like 5 to 6 lakhs a month and all, right? And that's where we realized that, I think, for 1 year, for 2 years, we were like that, and we were not growing. I mean, we were growing at like 5 to 10%, I would say, like. And that's not what we wanted, right? We took this challenge so that we want to grow at 100%, 200%, like that, right? So that's where we thought, like, I think we should change the business model again. That's where we felt like, well, let's try out the transactional model, and we went ahead and took this transactional business and moved the company into a transactional business. And this actually worked out well for us, and now we are like almost grown like 400% every year for the past 3 years, and we'll be proud to say that in terms of revenues. and that's an important aspect. I mean, for us, because our funding money dried up in 1 2 years, and post that, it's all about the money we got from the customers that actually driven us, right? So that is the most important money that we should get, what we realized, and everyone is happy with that, even employees, everyone.
Kamal, this is something which is amazing. The when there was a phase when you guys had no focus on revenue generation, but there was a phase when you started focusing on that and build a company which is hugely profitable and a very very fast growing revenue company. Amazing journey, I will say. Amazing this thing. Just one question, because most of the entrepreneurs I've been seeing, even the successful companies or entrepreneurs, or there are stages in their life when they think of giving up.
Yeah.
Abhi, you also had any time when you thought, let's give it up, yaar. I mean, it's not going to work. Did you had those kind of moments in your life?
I think Sripad, you can take this.
So probably, I mean, I mean, during the days when we were like, I mean, -3 months, -4 months kind of, in terms of finances. So we used to thought about this. I mean, what would be the worst case? What if we close down? And I mean, will we be able to still run the company? So we had about like 3 to 4 lakhs of revenue coming in, and probably like 2 lakhs goes to our infrastructure, and so that we can still be able to run the company. But probably like, there are two aspects which has actually, I mean, I mean, went us, which has actually kept us, keep this thing going. So one was like, though we don't have revenues to actually fund the growth and everything, we had continuous flow of users who were actually trusting the platform. So that was the thing. And the other thing was, we had great support from our employees, because they voluntarily took pay cuts for 3 months, and they were actually trusting us. So we thought like, I mean, we cannot just give up like this.
So what kept the morale, high, so that you could not, which saved you from breaking? Most of the entrepreneurs, they die down after that. They normally, shut down the shop, and that's how there's so high mortality in the startup space. What kept the morale high?
It's mostly also the users, because they were, I mean, end of the day, even if it is a bad day in the office, in the evening, if I go back and look at a user review on Play Store, I mean, a lot of happy reviews actually just make us smile in the end of the day, that if we helped one person to travel, and there are cases where they say like, I am able to travel to visit my parents just because of your app. So these are the reviews which actually make takes us to the next level. And all the employees actually, I mean, like, I would say like, we got the best employees out there, and right from the beginning they stayed with us, whatever is the scenario. Even during COVID also, they took like 50% pay cuts and all, and they stayed with us, whatever is the scenario. They said like, we'll be with you, and we have actually rewarded them with the ESOPs in the company and all, and they're happy with staying with us.
So highs coming out of the customer reviews, that was one factor. Your dedicated, super dedicated employees who never left you, and in the lurch, and I'm sure the support from your parents and your mentors and your the must be there.
Yes.
Otherwise, it's very difficult. Okay, what was your last numbers which attracted IXIGO, and how does this conversation with IXIGO, was it accidental, or was it like, how did this IXIGO came into your life, suddenly, how did this happen, and what was the last that is the second question after that. What was the last numbers which attracted, you know a lot of such people, would like to highlight that? Would you like to highlight that?
So I think it's not accidental. I would say it's more about like, so I mean, we and Alok, we were in touch for the past 3 years, kind of, right? So I don't think any acquisition will happen accidentally. It's all about like journey. If they see your journey over a period of time, faster pace. That's what attracts, right? Because anybody can't directly at a single point take any decision in these things, because these are multi-million dollar deals and all, and they can't directly take these decisions at a short span of time. And I mean, both of us have been growing in this train space over a period of time, and they have seen us. They liked the team. They have seen us growing at a very good pace. And over the past 3 years, I think the numbers that we have, as I said, like we were growing like 400% every year and all, right? And these are interesting numbers. And I mean, we had a lot of synergy where combinedly we have a much bigger picture. And it's like we are very strong now as a combined entity, that we can take it to the next level, the combined entity. So that's what helped us. And both of us felt like, I mean, there is a lot of synergy and we need to take it to the next level. They have very good strengths in flights and some of the train utility areas, and we have some strengths in the transaction business. And combinedly, it is going to become very, I mean, one of the leading OTAs in India. And the combined entity is very powerful now. And I think that's an important step. And I think going forward, it's going to be more exciting, I would feel. And I think it's a very good step. I think even for all the mentors, investors, and all the employees and all of us. Actually, it's a very good step that we have taken.
So probably, I mean, talking about the numbers. So we started with 57 bookings on the, I mean, in the first month, and we are doing about like 35,000 kind of daily transactions now. So I mean, probably
35,000 transactions daily. Ah, man, crazy.
So that's roughly more than 3 crores on a daily basis. If you open a shopping mall, I'm not sure if anybody can do that turnover on a daily basis. We sit
Awesome,
in,
awesome. This
yeah,
is
yeah.
something which is a lot of entrepreneurs should learn. The guys who had zero focus on the revenue, suddenly they are doing 35,000 booking daily and also 3 crore daily. Ah, man, crazy revenues. Then I know large companies are, who have been hugely funded, they are also not able to achieve this kind of milestone. Commendable, super commendable. I'll say, the hats off to you guys, because this is something which, this is a capability which many entrepreneurs should learn from you, how to develop the capability of revenue generation, because this is the most important capability. And also binding his team, very strong people management skills, those who have never left you. That is something also to learn from you guys, because I'm sure if I would be an entrepreneur, I would have come and sat with you for a longer time, understand that why, what worked, how you managed to sort of made your team work for you for 5 years. I think these are two very important skills the entrepreneur should have. Very quickly, the on the the now what will be your role, and in that going forward, you're going to continue with IXIGO, and how you're going to what is the next level going to achieve?
So, I mean, we'll continue to lead Confirm Ticket. That's the most important thing during the deal, that we will continue to build this company and take it to the next level. This is just one important milestone, I would feel, where only the shareholding patterns and all changes. But they believe in us, like they believe in this thing, that I think we can actually run this thing better. And I mean, they gave us freedom to run it, and we will continue to lead Confirm Ticket.
Okay, great. I think the picture abhi baki hai, mere dost. Shah Rukh Khan dialogue, right? Picture abhi baki hai. Okay, great. So I would like to, sort of, stop here. And I would like to once again congratulate you, because your journey is very, very inspiring journey. I'm sure, would you like to say something to the fellow entrepreneurs, not theoretical, but something which, which can inspire some of those, young entrepreneurs? What is one thing which they should ensure they should take care of while they're building a company like yours?
so. I mean, so probably, I mean, what I say is like, in the first phase, you need to focus on the product, and probably the next important thing is was users, and then the next comes revenue. So I mean, all three can run parallelly only after a certain stage. but not everything in the initial. So if you are focusing too much on the revenue, then you lose focus on the product in the initial days. That's my take.
Right. Thank you. Thank you very much. I end it here. Thank you, Priyanka, for inviting me to moderate this session. Take it to Priyanka, you're on a mute. Yeah. Priyanka, you're on a mute. Yeah. Please take it forward from here.
Thank you, Dr. Sharma. Thank you, Sripad. Thank you, Dinesh. I mean, entrepreneurship is not easy, but you both are just perfect examples of great resilience and humility. So before, and which is very very crucial for any first time entrepreneur, I believe. So let's take some question from the audience. There are few questions, but I would like to ask you both that there was a time when startups used to burn millions of dollars on customer acquisition with no revenues in sight. But you guys, I mean, you remain frugal all through, and and created a revenue stream which is like wonderful. But do you think you could have grown more than your current numbers had you got better funding?
I would say no, because I mean, it's all about timing. Also, I mean, it also depends on. I mean, let's say if we have raised more funding at the initial stages, I think we would have got shut down. I would say, because
Point
having
on.
more, yeah, having more money when you don't have any clue on how do you take it to the next level. I think at certain points, I think when you have clarity that I need this much money and this can take me to this level, that's when you actually need money. And initially, I should admit that both of us actually lack that experience at the initial stages, at the first 1-2 years. And I mean, there are cases where we were like asking so much money, and that's irrelevant actually for our business. And that's there. I mean, it depends on I mean, company to company. And for us, it's a
Yeah,
consumer internet space. I would say, like, you hardly need any money, because you only need a laptop or anything to just to do. You only need internet, and any cloud server can actually, you can launch any business out there, right? So consumer internet firms need very little money to take it live and take it to the next level. So I mean, it all depends, like, on
right,
business to business. For us, I would say, like, limited money is enough, and to take it to this level.
right. So in the hindsight, it was good that you did not raise enough funds and
Yeah.
stayed frugal. Yeah,
Yes, yes.
that's an inspiring story from both of you. And one advice that you want to give to the current new age entrepreneurs.
I would say, I mean, the startup journey is like 5 to 10 years journey. I would say, if you're trying to start up, actually, you put that much in your life aside. I won't. I mean, people. I mean, some just they just feel like it's just 1-2 years. Let me only 1-2 years journey they feel, but it's going to be a hard journey. There might be a lot of ups and downs in between, and you should be ready to take that plunge. And do not give up is the most important thing. There are so many cases, I like, at least 3-4 times we felt like, I mean, there are so many cases where we had internal issues. It's and luckily, I think we had very good employees. I mean, both of us are there, co-founders, and we back each other. And I would say it is very hard for only if there is only one founder. I would say it is very hard for him to cope up the stress that any startup gives. So so it's better actually have a co-founder if you're starting something, who will actually back you even during tough times and good times, and have very good spend so much time on your initial team. Those are the guys who actually take it to the next level. The culture of the company depends on that. And do not give up. That's the most important thing.
Great, wonderful piece of advice, and thank you so much, all. Where is Dr. Sharma? Okay, thank you all three of you, and we will be back with such talks about startup journeys in our show, The Growth Hackers. So stay tuned. Thank you so much.
Yeah. Thank you, Priyanka.
Thanks
Thanks for
for hosting,
thanks
and
for
also Apoorva for all the support during our journey. And also
thanks.
thanks.
That is on mute and.